Hello, welcome to Manic, Pixie. I've been thinking, this is my first episode. I've been meaning to start this podcast for a while and just start it up. And I just felt like I've been thinking a lot about the First Amendment. I've been doing a lot of research and I've been thinking a lot about it because of Dave Chappelle's new special. And, I know a lot of transgender people who don't believe in the First Amendment. They're using Dave Chappelle's special as a Trojan horse to justify why the First Amendment isn't okay. When, first of all, the First Amendment is number one. The First Amendment is number one, okay? That's why they call it the First Amendment, because it's number one. It's number one to our freedom, and freedom is the most important thing to an artist. Freedom. That's what art is. It's freedom. It's an escape, and that's what art should be, and Dave Chappelle should strive to be that for as many people as he can. And he seemed to us, in the transgender community, it seems that, he had a friend, a very special friend of his, passed away. And, he really honored her life and really celebrated her life. And, and then he played, I watched the special. He played Gloria Gaynor's I Will Survive at the end of the credits. And I just got a sense, I bet that was what was her name? Oh my gosh, Chloe? Was her name Chloe? That was probably that was probably her favorite song or something like that. You know what I mean? I think that, he picked that song because it has some association with Chloe, the transgender woman that he was friends with. And by the way, what I will say about Dave Chappelle, I've heard nothing. I've got nothing. I haven't heard a peep about Dave Chappelle sexually harassing anyone. I haven't heard a peep about him being, inappropriate with anyone. In fact, when what I hear in comedy, you hear quite the opposite. You hear about him helping people. You hear about him giving people their first shot. You hear a lot of that. So it's my opinion, Dave Chappelle actually might be a very good person. But we don't always agree with him, do we? No, of course not. Who agrees with anybody all the time? I don't. And I'm sure most people don't. It seems like a lot of people don't agree with me on things. Even though I'm right. Even though I'm 100% correct. And that's why people don't like talking to me about it. Because they know I'm right. And they know that they're wrong. And they don't want to be wrong, dude. They just want to look away. And it's like, no. That's willful ignorance. That's not brave. That's cowardly. And I don't respect that in people. Especially in men. When men keep their head down, in comedy, I just keep my head down. You always hear guys saying that. They keep their head down and stuff like that. It's like, you look away. You're seeing the same shit I'm seeing. The same bullshit I'm seeing happen. You see it too, dude. And you just know how to look away. That's cowardly to me. I can't look away. I can't fucking look away. And, I think that's what my comedy is about. I don't want people to look away. You know what I mean? So here's one thing I'll have to say about it. With the transgender community, where I relate to them is jokes can be scary. As a sex worker, as a stripper, those jokes about, those horror jokes, dumb horror jokes, rapist, stripper, sex workers are all, they were all raped and molested by their dad. Hurtful stigmas in these jokes and these bits. But what's scary about the jokes is that people laugh. There's an agreement to what they're saying, that I'm not really a whole person. That I'm not, and it can be scary. Jokes can be fucking scary. And just in comedy alone, I have been sexually assaulted twice in comedy by 2 different comics. And I'm going to do deep dives into them and really get into them and talk about everything that happened and what could have helped me in those situations. What could change in the system that the system would have been able to help me in those situations. But because the system is how it is now, it didn't help me. I had no help. I had nowhere to turn when these things happened, and people just let them happen to me, dude. I've gone to parties. I've been on lineups with my sexual assailants. You know what I mean? That's not normal. That's fucked up. That's a fucked up thing to make me do. And, and everyone's like, oh, Caroline's crazy. And it's like, that's my sexual assailant right there. He's right there. He's right fucking there. That man tortured me in my apartment for 4 hours. That man flew me to New York and abused me. And it's just, did these two comics hear jokes about me, about women like me? Did they hear jokes about whores, about strippers, about whatever, bad whore jokes, dirty whore jokes? Did they hear these jokes and then they decide I was their target because of that? Because they were fucking predators. They were fucking sexual predators, and I don't want to fight people on that. I don't want to fight people anymore whether I'm telling them the truth or not. Because I am, and why would I lie about this? Why would I lie about this shit? Like, do you think I like this? Do you think I fucking like that I'm raped? Or that I get raped? Do you think I fucking like that? Like, do you think this is fun for me? Like, are you fucking for real? I would lie and put myself in this position? For what? Like, what the fuck do you think? Why would I lie about this? I know exactly what I'm talking about. I know how wrong it is, but it's so wrong, and I was the target, I was the victim of some things that were so fucking wrong that shouldn't have happened, and I want accountability and retribution, and I want justice and vengeance, and that's fair. I'm a human being. I'm not a saint. I'm not claiming to be anything other than what I am, and that's what I want. I want justice for myself, and I'm never going to get it because of a very, very, very broken system that hates me and women like me. So, if you're a comic and you're watching this, can you just think about how you talk about women? Can you just really think about how you talk about women? And how what you say about women could affect us? And the attitudes men have about us that could get us really hurt. People can get hurt, So anyway, so there's that. So I can really relate to trans people. I can totally relate to them, where they're coming from. Like, they don't want to get hurt. There's a lot of transgender women that are sex workers. It's very common. And, and it's, and the, thing is, like, men are ashamed of themselves, and men are ashamed that they might be attracted to women who look like them. And these men go and they have sex with these women, I'll call them that, these women. I'll claim them. I'll say they're women. I have no problem with that. It's fine. I don't care. And, big deal, And, anyways, where was I? Ugh. Forget all that. Jesus. Okay, first of all, the First Amendment is paramount. The First Amendment is so important. But what I will say, no matter how many horror jokes I've ever heard, I've heard some awful ones. Rich girls, like fucking rich girls, privileged rich girls will just rub it in, dude. Like, those girls love to rub it in, that they're rich and I'm poor. Or that they're rich, they don't have to strip, they have a safety net, they have help, they have everything that they need provided for them. They're a princess and I'm not. You know what I mean? But I don't know. But I never give them shit for those jokes. I never give them shit. They have every right to say that. And I'll let them speak for themselves. They're the ones that have to get on stage and say shameful things. That's only a reflection on them. But what scares me is that people fucking laugh. That's what scares me. And just people laughing at those jokes. There's people laughing at those jokes. Does that mean I'm in danger? Is that putting me in danger? Is that making me more vulnerable than I already am? Because people are hearing those jokes about me and women like me, and the stigmas and stereotypes that we have to live with. And I want to say I was sexually assaulted. I had to take a week off from work, and I've been working. I've been working really hard. I'm moving. I'm moving pretty soon. Oh, Jesus. It feels, I'm so stressed. I've just been working and sleeping. When I'm not sleeping, I'm at work. That's all I've been doing. And I have to get, I haven't done my OnlyFans in weeks. I've just been so, but I have to move because I can't deal with, the harassment, and I can't deal with, a lot of people's attitudes about me in comedy right now in LA because of the Bobby Lee situation, which the Bobby Lee thing, I don't regret it. Don't take it back. I tried, I'm sorry. I'm just done sitting, just sitting and praying to Jesus, who won't get down off of that damn cross and do something. Jesus Christ is not getting down off that cross, and he's not going to do anything. Okay. That's not how it works. I had to do something. What else should I do? What else could I do? I can't call the police on him. I called around to so many human trafficking organizations I called around to so many human trafficking organizations and just said hey, Bobby, we fucking talked about raping a trafficking victim. And there was oh, there's really nothing we can do. And and I tried getting some journalists to write on it, dude. I tried, dude. Nothing was taken. And so I did that, and I tried to start, I'm starting it, I'm still starting it, I'm going to start a new women's rights movement, the stand-up movement. If something bad happened to you, you should be able to talk about it. Oh, sorry, there's a fucking hair in my eye. If something bad happened to you, you should be able to talk about it. Sorry. I should be able to talk about these things. I should be able to talk about how I was raped, and I should be able to talk about what I think and feel about things, and try and make them funny. And if I'm succeeding at making people laugh about what I think and feel about things, and I'm able to spin my thoughts and opinions into jokes, then that should be celebrated, and that should be accepted, and it's not here. I get a lot of shit, and it's just So after the Bobby Lee situation, here's the thing. I lost a lot of friends. I really thought I was lighting the bat signal. And I thought all of these women in comedy, all these fucking feminists in comedy, were going to step up, come forward, and fight back. And we were going to just end the rape culture in comedy, in LA comedy, forever. I really believed that. I really had faith. I really believed in these women at the time. And then women called, they said that they're canceling me, having me on their podcast, women just so many women treacherous, betrayals, treacherous. It's treacherous. And they were my friends, and they're not my friends anymore. And yeah, so I have to completely start over. And God, I hope where I'm going, I hope they don't rape girls there. I just hope they don't rape fucking girls there. I just really hope they don't, because that's what they do in LA. In the LA comedy community, they fucking rape girls here. Dude, I guess I'm going to start by not saying his name, but there's this very big comic. Okay. Anyways. He's really big in the roast battle scene and stuff. So he has goons. He has a bunch of a little crew of open micers that follow him around, and he has some low level comics and stuff that follow him around. He has this little crew of goons. So one day, me and my friend Zhao Ying, we decided to get drunk. And then at the bar, we were like, well, what should we do now? And then we were like, let's go to the Comedy Store. So we ran to the Comedy Store. And, we're talking to comics and running around and, having fun. And then in the original room, I go in, and there's this really drunk girl. sitting on stage. And a big comic who's actually a friend of mine, a really good friend of mine. He's helped me a lot. He did push a female comic down the stairs once, but he never did that to me. He never pushed me down the stairs. He pushed another female comic down the stairs, but I don't know. Anyways, it was years ago, right? Like he never pushed me down the stairs. I always felt fine around him. I thought I could go down a flight of stairs and no problem, Anyways, but so he had the microphone and he was on stage with this drunk girl. And the girl is like slurred voice, like her eyes were like closed and stuff, like she was very out of it. And you could hardly make out what she was saying. And then there was this big comic in the audience with all of his goons, and they were roasting her. They were making roast jokes at her expense. They were fucking humiliating her. They didn't get a car for her. They didn't put her in an Uber to go home. They didn't find her a friend. So anyways, me and my friend, me and Zhao Ying ran up on stage and kind of took over and tried to like make it about us and stuff like that. But then the big comic and his goons started roasting me and my friend. And so anyway, so nobody wins. Not except that big comic and his friends. But anyways, the women in that situation didn't win though. Isn't that stand-up comedy for you in a nutshell? It's a bunch of men acting like assholes and none of the women win. Ugh. I just hope if I go to Caroline's, I'm moving to New York. That's the plan, dude. That's the plan. I have family up there. I love big cities. I've been wanting to move to New York for for the last couple of years. I've thought about moving since 2017. I thought really seriously about moving to New York, and so I started thinking about it in 2017 when, well, there was somebody in comedy I really wanted to get away from, and so in 2017 I thought about moving to New York because I thought that was the only way, but now I know it is. Now I know it's the only way. It's the only way I'm going to be okay. I know it's the only way I'm going to be okay is I have to get out of LA, go to New York, and just uproot my life and just plan it there. I'm sure it'll be really like a lot of the same things. I'll be stripping. I'll be doing my OnlyFans. I'll just have stand-up comedy. And I'll start from the bottom, work my way up and stuff like that. I'm not like inexperienced. I'm a total killer. I'm really funny. And New York will be a challenge and stuff. And so, but still, at the same time, like, if I go to Caroline's or, like, there's Caroline's. There's a comedy club in Caroline's there. Of course I belong there. And so, anyways, but if I go to, like, that comedy club at, like, 2 o'clock in the morning, like me and Zhao Ying did, would we fucking see, like, Luis Gomez and his friends doing that to someone? Not someone, like, a weak, inebriated, drunk girl who doesn't know what's going on and humiliate her on stage. Is that comedy? No, that's abuse. If that's what you have to do to become funny, then you're not fucking funny. You're just an abuser. You're just a fucking bully. That's fucked up. Anyways, where was I? But as far as Dave Chappelle's special goes, like, he has a right to say whatever he wants to say. And it's not his fault that people laughed. It's his job. It's his job to make people laugh. The problem is that people were laughing. If the culture was more enlightened to these issues, they wouldn't laugh, But, going back to being a stripper, like, dude, like, 3 words, Grand Theft Auto. Like, I've never seen it, but, like, I hear, like, the car drivers, you can win gold coins by, like, mowing over strippers or something like that. It's, like, awful. I've never seen it. I've never played it before, right? I don't play video games. But, anyways. Well, that's what I have to say about that. One day, things will be different. They won't make Grand Theft Auto anymore, and like people will have more enlightened ideas about transgenders, you know? Well, okay, that's my little episode for the day. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye, guys. I'm going to bed.